Good evening, everyone. So, my next video is on the topic ulcer protectives in the peptic ulcer. Now, I'm going to discuss with you ulcer protectives. And before I start my video, I would like to request you if this video is useful to you and it is helpful to you, then kindly share my video and kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Dr. Nitika Hans Pharmacology Discussion. So, now I'm going to start with my video, that is ulcer protectives. The surface acting agents, ulcer protectives are the drugs which act as the surface acting agents which act on the surface of the gastric ulcer or duodenal ulcer or uh, peptic ulcer. These are alginates, colloidal bismuth substrate, sucralfate, prostaglandin analogs like these are misoprostol, and they stimulate the mucus and bicarbonate secretion. These are used in NSAID-induced peptic ulcer, which is known as the NSAID gastropathy, and misoprostol is the drug, and it causes diarrhea, and it is also the abortifacient because it increases the uterine contractions also. So it is abortifacient and it also increases the gastrointestinal motility. So it is used, it causes diarrhea. Now, prostaglandin analogs, basically the drugs, these are the PGE2 and they act by inhibiting the hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. Miss PGE2 is the inhibitory type of the receptor. And when prostaglandin analogs stimulate this receptor, the ATP will not form the cyclic AMP. And so protein kinase will not be stimulated, so that will not stimulate the hydrogen potassium ATPase pump. So hydrogen chloride will not be secreted in the lumen of the gastric uh, into the lumen of the gastric mucosa or stomach. And secondly, they produce bicarbonate and mucus secretion. So they form the covering over the surface of the ulcer by the bicarbonate and mucus production. And then thirdly, they are having the mucosal blood flow increasing action, means they cause the vasodilatation. So mucosal blood flow increases, and when the mucosal blood flow increases, that will shut out the anti-inflammatory mediators. That inflammatory mediators will be shut out from the gastric mucosa, so there will be no inflammation, so leading to less of the gastric ulcer production. So these are cytoprotective in this way. Prostaglandin E2 and prostacyclin PGI2 are the major prostaglandins synthesized by the gastric mucosa. Prevent gastric injury by cytoprotective effects. They stimulate the mucin, that is mucus and bicarbonate secretion. They increase the mucosal blood flow and thus shut out the anti-inflammatory mediators from the stomach. And they also diminish the that NSAIDs are known to cause peptic ulcer by inhibiting the production of the prostaglandins, the synthesis of prostaglandins, which are cytoprotective in action. In those cases, we can give misoprostol PGE2 analog to treat the NSAID-induced peptic ulcer. And they NSAID diminish prostaglandin formation by inhibiting cyclooxygenase. And the synthetic prostaglandin analogs help to reduce NSAID-induced mucosal damage. Misoprostol, it is a synthetic analog of prostaglandin E1, PGE1. Oral doses of the 100 to 200 microgram significantly inhibit the basal acid secretion up to 85 to 95% inhibition. Means they will inhibit the secretion of basal acid, 100 to 200 microgram of the misoprostol. Recommended dose for ulcer prophylaxis is 200 microgram 4 times a day. 4 times a day, the dose is 200 microgram 4 times a day. QID. Pharmacokinetics is misoprostol is rapidly absorbed, rapidly and extensively deesterified to form misoprostol acid, the principal and active metabolite of the drug. Single dose inhibits acid production within 30 minutes. Therapeutic effect peaks at 60 to 90 minutes and lasts for up to 3 hours. Now, the therapeutic effect, it will peak at 60 to 90 minutes and effect lasts up to 3 hours. And food and antacids, they decrease the absorption of the misoprostol and this drug is excreted in the urine. Adverse effects are it causes the increase in the GI mortality and gastric acid is decreased. So these can cause diarrhea, they can cause abdominal pain or cramps, and they can also exacerbate the inflammatory bowel disease. And these are contraindicated during pregnancy because this is the abortifacient drug. It can increase the uterine contractions, so it can lead to abortion in the pregnancy. Therapeutic uses in the NSAID-induced peptic ulcer. Really, this is the selective drug in the treatment of NSAID-induced peptic ulcer, but because of its side effects like abortifacient and causing of diarrhea and exaggerating the inflammatory bowel disease, these are not the drug of choice. The drug of choice are proton pump inhibitors only. That are a drug of choice which are safer drugs. Because of adverse effects, these are not used, and inconvenience because 4 times daily dosing is there of the misoprostol, which is very inconvenient to use. So next drug is sucralfate. Sucralfate is the ulcer protective drug. Means it will form the covering over the surface of the gastric ulcer, and so HCl will not come in contact with the gastric ulcer, the hydrochloric acid, so it can promote the healing of the gastric ulcer. But if there is no covering over the gastric ulcer and HCl is exposed to the gastric ulcer, it can decrease the healing, it can aggravate the condition of the gastric ulcer, so that can lead to more exaggeration of the peptic ulcer condition. But the sucralfate, it forms a protective covering over the surface of gastric ulcer, so it can cause the healing of the gastric ulcer. And basically, the sucralfate is a small molecule. It in the acidic medium, that is pH less than 4. It cross-links the molecules of sucralfate cross-link with to each other to form a viscous sticky polymer over the surface of the gastric ulcer, and they form a protective covering over the surface of the gastric ulcer. And this only occurs only in the pH of less than 4, that is in the acidic pH. So in the presence of antacids, which are weak bases, which cause the medium alkaline, these sucralfate does not act. So for the action of the sucralfate, the medium should be acidic only. And in an acidic medium, pH less than 4 undergoes extensive cross-linking to produce a viscous sticky polymer, adheres to the epithelial cells and ulcer craters for up to 6 hours after a single dose, inhibits hydrolysis of the mucosal proteins by pepsin. Means pepsin action is inhibited. There will not be hydrolysis of the mucosal proteins, and it is cytoprotective also because it produces these mucus and bicarbonate production also. So it is cytoprotective also, and it also increases the production of prostaglandins and epidermal growth factor. So it is cytoprotective in action. And the therapeutic uses, these are used in the prophylaxis of stress ulcers, oral mucositis, that is radiation and aphthous ulcers, and bile reflux gastropathy. These are the therapeutic uses of sucralfate, and it should be given empty stomach 1 hour before meals. And use of antacids, because those are weak bases, they will make the medium alkaline, so action of sucralfate will not come. So use of antacids within 30 minutes of a dose of sucralfate should be avoided. Dose of sucralfate is 1 gram 4 times daily. Dose of sucralfate is 1 gram 4 times daily is the dose. Adverse effects are constipation about 2%, and they inhibit the absorption of phenytoin, digoxin, cimetidine, ketoconazole, and fluoroquinolone. They inhibit the absorption of these drugs, sucralfate. Now next is colloidal bismuth compounds or colloidal bismuth substrate. It coats the ulcer, stimulates the bicarbonate and mucus secretion just like sucralfate. Direct antimicrobial activity against the H. pylori also they're having. They will kill the H. pylori bacteria. So there will be no H. pylori associated gastric ulcer will not be there. may cause blackening of stools and tongue. They may cause blackening of stools and tongue, the colloidal bismuth substrate, and not used for long periods, because if they will be used for a longer period of time, there will be bismuth toxicity, which affects the brain and bone. In the bone, it causes osteodystrophy, and in the brain, it causes encephalopathy. So bismuth toxicity can be caused by these compounds like colloidal bismuth substrate. So these are avoided for a long-term use. Thank you. That's all for ulcer protectives. I hope you understood my video. And if you understood my video, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus share this video as much as possible so others may also be gained from this video. Thank you. Happy learning. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Stay happy. Thank you.